So you might be asking yourself, what is proximate preparation? That is a phrase I have never heard before. So you have come to the right place. We love to talk about this. So proximate preparation is a phrase that John Paul II used in a document called Familiaris Consortio. This is a document that was written in the 80s, and it's about the role of the family in the modern world. So in this document, John Paul talks about marriage preparation, and he discusses the fact that a lot of young people don't seem to be able to handle the things that life throws at them. They maybe don't handle that very well. And he notices that couples who are well prepared for marriage tend to fare better than others. And so then he goes on to talk about how to prepare for marriage, right? And he obviously thinks well prepared means a very long, thorough process, because he divides marriage prep into 3 separate categories, okay? The first category is remote preparation. And this describes when children are raised in what he calls a school of love. So children are reared in a home where they learn that they are endowed with their own unique psychology. They learn how to uphold their own dignity and other people's dignity. They learn about mercy. They learn about love. They learn about forgiveness. And they are basically formed in kind of a school of humanity growing up. This prepares them well, John Paul says, for marriage later. So the second stage is proximate prep, which is what we're talking about today. So I'm going to skip that and come back to it. And the third stage is immediate preparation. So he says this takes place in the months and weeks leading up to the wedding, right? In most couples, this is when they're engaged. And he lists a number of things that should be covered in this stage, like preparing for the liturgy, right? The couple's involvement in the rite of marriage and how they can participate in their wedding liturgy, and in some of the things that they can plan, etc. He talks about maybe more in-depth knowledge of how they can live out their call to conjugal sexuality and parenthood, those sorts of things, and really diving more deeply into that and a couple others. So that clearly takes place when you're already engaged. But then the second stage is called proximate preparation. And in it, he lists off a number of things that prepare couples well, prepare people well, to be able to enter into marriage. Now, he doesn't list a specific time when this starts. I think he says something like an appropriate time. I mean, that's what he says in it. And so it has commonly been understood that this occurs when a couple's already engaged. But we at Discerning Marriage think that for most couples, engagement is actually too late to be talking about this kind of stuff. You know, in the United States and in other countries as well, engagement really is a wedding prep. You know, couples take on the tremendous task of planning a massive party to celebrate their wedding with their family and their friends, and most of them aren't professional wedding planners, and so they're learning this new craft, and their to-do list is a mile long, and there's so many things that they are needing to figure out, that this wedding planning really kind of takes over their engagement a lot of times. And so couples, even the most well-meaning couples, want to do marriage prep, but they kind of have to end up sticking in marriage prep on their to-do list between like cake tasting and wedding dress fitting, and they're checking things off their list. And so when they get to marriage prep, they maybe don't have the time and energy to dive into all of these things and give all of these things the attention that they would want to give it otherwise. So we think that it is beneficial to move a lot of this proximate preparation content out of engagement, and you can start studying it when you're a single person wanting to discern if marriage might be the vocation for you, but also when you're a dating couple. You know, we think a seriously dating couple enters a stage called pre-engagement, where they're not engaged yet, but they really want to learn more about the person that they're dating and really kind of figure out if this is a person that they could spend the rest of their life with. And so what we're here at Discerning Marriage, we're proposing that people use this proximate preparation content as a way to discern the vocation of marriage, again, as single people or even as dating couples. So here on our website on Discerning Marriage here in our ministry, we want to provide you with different ways to foster that, to learn about the proximate preparation, things that, that's my baby, sorry, learn about the proximate preparation, things that John Paul lists off, and really be able to form yourself in those things before you get engaged. So when you get engaged, you can focus on the wedding planning and you can focus more on those immediate preparation things that John Paul says are beneficial for you. So let's get started.